Hello, welcome to tonight's SFG free meeting. Tonight we're going to cover a PowerPoint that I just put on this credit repair. Um, we made some changes from Deja's book to a system that currently working, and it's working for me. And so I wanted to share this with you guys, give you kind of some updates. So, without ado, I will start in with the PowerPoint. Um, so, all right. So, this the content in this group in all the videos that I make is not, we're basically nobody is the originator of any of this material. We gather the material up and then we make these PowerPoints and videos and ebooks and all that stuff to give you guys access, easily access to this stuff. Um, the um, what we charge for the different things that we do, we charge for our time. We do not charge for the content. Most of the stuff you can find on Scribed or any of the websites or whatever. But we spend our time putting this together and bringing it to you, and so that's what's going on. So disclaimer, reading this booklet is educational purpose. You agree to indemnify and hold harmless Stark Financial Group, its officers, directors, employees, and agents from any claims, damages, losses, liabilities that may arise from this agreement. Just as anything is important, read the IRM for instructions for each form in the handbook. After all, information is power. So this is Stark Financial Group's credit cleanup. Um, First is in this process is you need to go to you got to go directly to the website. You can't do this on the app. You can't do this in Credit Karma. You can't do this anywhere except for on each separate website. You have to go to this website, you have to create an account, and you have to follow the instructions. Once you get to TransUnion, which is the one I recommend, you download the PDF copy of your current credit report. This is kind of an example of mine. This is basically what the beginning of it looks like. This one here is for TransUnion, and so this is what you'll download. Um, Next, once you get a copy of your report, you make a list of all derogatory entries that you want removed for labor trafficking. So basically, you're going to get out a pad of paper and you're going to go through and you're going to need to write down each of the entities that you have derogatory credit that you are going to have removed for labor trafficking. Um, so here's what an entry looks like. Okay, this one was for FEB retail. And it gives you the address, it gives you the account information, the date it was opened, what kind of account it was, what the balance is, and so on. So this is all the information that you're going to need to do it's called a self attestation. Okay. So then the next step here is to contact Lighthouse Advocates through email to receive a letter from them on labor trafficking. So this is the information, okay? So basically you're going to email them and you're just going to basically give them your name, your date of birth, and you're going to say, I'm a survivor of labor trafficking, leave your phone number and whatever. They used to do it for free. Now it's going to cost money. $20 is not a lot of money to have these people help you, okay? Here's a copy of the letter that you will receive. This is my letter. And it just basically says that, for these three entities, that they are acting on behalf of you, and these are the situations that need to be rectified. Next is to complete the self-attestation letter, right? So here's the first page. It's just basically your name at the top, and then it's got the three. It's basically a conditional acceptance, you know. Uh, and then it just got the information here. These are all in the templates. When you buy the book, you get the templates. All this stuff comes with it. Okay. Um, then you're going to go to each creditor and you're going to name the name of the creditor, the date the account was opened, the balance, and then some people are putting account number. And then you just add as many as necessary. You just keep repeating this until you get them all down here. Proof of identity, you're going to want to take driver's license, and then you're going to want to have this affidavit plus the um, letter from Lighthouse. Okay. And then just sign it sincerely. This whole process, you're not trying to like not be the taxpayer because that's exactly what they're reporting on. So no crazy sovereign signing and UCC numbers and all that crap. Just sign your name. Um, so why does this allow me to fix my credit? Okay. So debt bondage, DBRA, the federal law that provides specific protections for survivors of human trafficking, requiring credit reporting agency to block and remove uh, fraudulent information in 4 business days. The Trafficking Victims Protection Act, TVPA, provides a broad definition of human trafficking, including sex trafficking, labor trafficking, debt bondage. Trafficking is broadly described in the Homeland Security website, and there's the link to it. Okay. Identify the theft and system. Another component of reclaiming your financial freedom is understanding how identity theft falls into the scope of understanding. Identity theft is not um, a crime perpetrated by individuals, but it also is by perpetrated by the very system designed to protect your credit. In other words, the credit reporting agencies. Under 18 USC 1028, identity theft is defined as unauthorized use of someone's personal identifying information, such as name, social security number, and financial account to commit fraud and crimes. How to ensure your credit reflects financially reality free from effects of exploitation. How credit reportings, the 3 major credit reporting agencies are asked of safeguarding financial data. However, they often mirror the practices of identity theft. And here's how: selling and sharing information, allowing fraudulent information to persist on reports, creating barriers to dispute resolution. These practices harm all consumers and affect survivors of trafficking who are already navigating complex legal and financial challenges. The result of the system of the profits your misfortune, leaving you to fight for the accuracy and fairness of your own credit report. The power to reclaim your financial freedom. Federal protections, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, and the Debt Bondage Repair Act, DBRA, are designed to ensure that you have the tools to dispute fraudulent accounts on your credit report. In this guide, you will learn how to use these at your fingertips. What are your rights? Um, When repairing your credit and reclaiming your financial freedom, comprehending your legal rights is essential. Survivors of human trafficking are protected by federal laws that grant the system to remove inaccuracies, remove fraudulent accounts, and hold credit reporting agencies accountable. 2 key laws provide for of trafficking is Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, and the Debt Bondage Repair Act, DBRA. A lot of this is repetitive, but it's just kind of, trying to drive this home so that, so that you can get this information. Um, the DBRA provides protections from survivors of human trafficking and from fraudulent accounts, expedited resolutions, that's 4 business days, self-attestation validity, and protections against retaliation. The FCRA and the DBRA create legal framework to protect survivors of financial harm caused by trafficking related exploitation. Together, they ensure speedy resolution of disputes, accessible documentation standards, and accountability for agencies. Enforcing your rights in the credit reports, steps to enforce your rights, submit accurate, complete disputes, monitor agency responses closely, escalate when necessary. Key reminders: you are the authority on your own credit report. The law is on your side. Persistence pays off. How to submit. Okay, so submitting the report, make a PDF of all documentation and submit to credit report agencies directly. Transfusion can be done with one submission. The Equifax and Experian, sometimes you have to make several submissions in order to get it done. After the submission to them directly online, they may ask for information. If so, provide what they're asking for. If you cannot get remedy through the online portal, then you have to start the administrative process. So now we're going to go into that. Okay. So this isn't something that was in the other book. This is something that I promote very highly as a equitable, human. The administrative process and the power of notice is how you assert your rights to these different organizations. Okay. So the administrative process as follows: conditional acceptance, right to cure, estoppel default, final noticing to cure, and default judgment. Right. So the conditional acceptance, um, this is a copy of one. This is the one that I did to TransUnion. Okay, this is in the files. So these templates are already done for you. I go through these quick because it's for the video, but you actually have the physical copies of the templates to edit for yourself. So this one's like 7 pages, and it goes through all the laws and where they're negligent and payment. And then in here, I'm even like addressing that. Yeah, here it is. It's like $10,000, right? I hereby demand the payment of money for the count of $10,000 and no cents for the time you wasted and and all the stuff that they've done to you and me and everybody, right? So that's a component of this, right? And then it goes through the different, within 15 days, these are the things that they need to do. Um, and it just kind of goes through till the end. Anything yellow, you got to edit that so that it benefits your process or whatever, right? So then it gets to the end, you sign it, and then you have it notarized. Um, then there's the right to cure. This is the one that I did for yeah, this one's TransUnion. So this was the second letter. This is the one that I sent with my self-attestation and the lighthouse stuff. And it basically just says it's got your certified mail number at the top, and then it addresses the last certified mail number that you used. Okay. So this is the important part. Every time you send a notice, you have to send it certified mail, return receipt. Okay. Because the green card that you get signed that comes back to you is your power to notice. That is your contract. Okay. So you got to have that stuff. So here's where it goes through at the end, and it's talking about the name, Maritime Court, and this trafficking exploitation, and your phone number and everything, so that they can contact you. Then the next is the estoppel default. Okay. So this one I haven't done yet, but this one is it basically lists the things that you've done so far, right? So you're building basically the administrative process is how you build a case against them in case you have to go to court, right? So every single time that you send one of these notices out and you get a registered mail number, it fulfills the law of how you have to notice somebody in order to get a default judgment, right? So this one has non-negotiable notice of default and dishonor and estoppel. And so then you just go through this information, change it how you need it so that it goes to you. This is the thing at this point with most you are with me, you are not infant minors anymore. Okay. You do not copy verbatim templates. We all did it, copied people's templates, and then we, made mistakes and we sent them out to everybody thinking we were going to get remedy and we didn't get any remedy and so on. So this is the thing that I'm trying to teach you at this point. Most of you that are doing work with me know better than to just change a few things on a template and send it out, right? Make this stuff your own. Make the heading your own. Use your own colors and things like that. That's how you create value in the things that you do. Okay. So then it's signed. Um, so then the final notice, this one here is a little different. Okay. This is basically your last stab at letting them know that they need to get their shit together. And if they don't, that this is a default judgment. Once you get all these notices done and you file a court case against them, you will get a default judgment from a judge. You won't have to go in and argue anything. All you have to do is go in and say, hey, these are my notices. These are my registered mail numbers. I want a default judgment, right? And they can come and argue it, but they can't really argue about the fact that you sent them 4 notices and didn't respond. Okay. So, final, this is your world. Do not let yourself become a victim of labor trafficking. Okay. Here's our information. If you got any more things that you want to talk about or that you need me to help with. Um, and so that's kind of what I did. I wanted to like create something that was a little bit more intrusive about how this all works and how you can use this to benefit yourself. No matter what you've been through in your life, everybody that has their name on a credit report is a victim of labor trafficking. Everybody. Because, first of all, credit is illegal. They can't deny you credit. Every single thing that you do with your signature has value. Therefore, every time you sign something on an application, a loan, anything like that, they can't deny you credit. So the whole concept of the credit reporting agencies is fraud because they're creating an environment where you get turned down for credit, which is illegal. So everybody is a victim of labor trafficking, everyone. Some people are victims of more versions of this than that. And if you go to the Homeland Security website and you are a victim of some of this stuff, there is relief. Okay, so there's a this goes a little bit deeper than just credit repair for some folks out there. So just understand that there are people out there that are on your side. Um, I I spent quite a few years in the military, and then after the military, doing security contracts with military type people, and I've known quite a few people in the military community that do a lot of fighting for the trafficking that goes on. I did spend quite a bit of time on the border of Texas, where I got to see this stuff happening firsthand, and it is. Something that, us as brothers and sisters that we need to do our best for each other. So that's basically all I have for the presentation. I would like to open this up for questions. I know that you guys, got a lot of questions answered in the last video, but if you need anything else answered tonight, go ahead and ask. You guys got any questions about anything? It doesn't have to pertain to this. Any questions? This is your guys' time.
Kent, I have a question for you.
Yep, go ahead.
If I do not have like a recent credit history and therefore my score is low, how do I fix that? Can I use the same process or that's going to be mute?
Um, so there's other ways to do that. Like I just started using the Chime card. They have a Chime credit builder credit card that you can
Mm-hmm.
get, and all you do is you deposit money into it, and it creates credit for you, and then you use the card, and then you just pay the minimum payment, and that will help you build credit a lot. Also, Capital One has a credit builder card. It's like
Yeah, I
99.
did get that one, but I'm trying to pay it off as soon as I get the bill.
Don't
And I
pay it
guess it's
off.
not okay.
Don't pay it off.
So just do
It gets you,
minimum?
yep, just pay the minimum payments every month.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what you have to show a track record of being able to make payments and
Mm-hmm.
not paying the card off. They don't care that you can pay a card off. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to pay anything off. They want you to make payments, right? So get as many of those as you can and just make the minimum payments each month. If you have no credit at all, you will see after 2 or 3 months that it's going to start to hike up. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if you have any judgments, that's what you want to get off the report.
No, I don't have any judgments.
Well, good.
So so
Yeah.
basically I have to rebuild credit, build it from the zero. Would buying a car help build
Yeah.
the credit?
Yeah. Anything you can do where you make monthly
Mm.
payments.
Oh, I was also going to ask you about buying a car. Remember how you said that you used your own social security number to go to the dealership? Wouldn't that be placing us back into the commercial contracts if we have gone through SBC and kind of
So,
exited the system?
so we have a process where once you get a car loan, like within 30 to 60 days, you can get rid of it. Um, but if you're trying to build credit and you can
Mm-hmm.
afford the payment, that really doesn't, that's going to go the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the idea behind this is it's kind of a balancing act, right? You want to have some credit so that you can like get some loans and whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
I ideally want to use your redemption account to settle all accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you get a car loan, then you go through our process to, you're not getting rid of a car loan, you're paying it, but you're
Mm-hmm.
paying it with your redemption account and and with the IRS. The IRS and the Treasury are your trustees, and it's their
Mm-hmm.
job to facilitate those things. And it's your job as the beneficiary to know what those laws are and how you fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So and then, we also have an advanced trust program that a few of the people have taken advantage of that's going to teach you how to better handle those securities and, how to basically correct the injustice that's been done, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's basically bringing you from a decedent estate to a non-decedent estate. Um, and the way that you do that, the main way you do that is through merger of titles.
Mm-hmm.
So we teach that in the advanced stuff. But everything from beginning to end here is, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create an environment where you not just get remedy, but you know how,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and so that's basically what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about the account remedies against the account that's created by Treasury TTNL account. If our credits have been transferred there, then we can start filing 1099s and other forms to discharge
Yeah,
the
well, you
debts.
you got to create the money first.
Yeah, yeah.
And then once you create the money, then you allocate it. You use the 1099s to ledger. A 1099 is
Mm-hmm.
just a ledgering document.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just designed to ledger things from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of other stuff that has to be done, but that's, a lot of times people think that this thing we're doing is kind of slow moving. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason why it's so slow moving is I'm trying to set this up in a way where you comprehend the material.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a lot of groups and I've listened to a lot of people and watched a lot of videos, and seldom are they clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
I try to be clear, right? And most people can say that, you know, you know, I'm many things, but one of the things that I'm not is, I'm not unclear about my intentions, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I
Mm-hmm.
try and be very clear for all you guys on that. So,
I have another question on
yep.
a slightly different note if anybody else doesn't want to ask questions. Um, Treasury Direct account, does it have any merit in our system? Like, if one gets one, what can you do with it? Like, can
But
you
with the
transfer your
banker,
credits to it?
I'm
Or,
told that with the banker, you can access credits with the TDA account. I don't have personal experience with that,
mm-hmm.
mainly because a lot of, I haven't had a lot of luck finding medallion signatures. So in
What are
order
the medallion signatures? How do they relate to TDA? I've heard of them, but I did not make connection between TDA and medallion
So
signatures.
medallion signatures are the signatures that are required to transfer securities.
Oh,
Okay.
who do you get them from?
Fidelity has them. Wells Fargo quit doing them. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, half a dozen banks out there that do them, but they give you a hard time about getting them because the U.S. Treasury is who trains medallion signers.
Mm,
And by law, they have to sign and they can't charge you.
mm-hmm.
But they really give you a hard time. I went to Fidelity and tried to get them, and they really gave me a hard time about it. So that's the big hang up with the TDA. If you can find somebody that is willing to give you medallion signatures, then you can set the account up properly.
On
Hey,
Fidelity or with the Treasury?
Well, it's Fidelity.
Oh, okay.
It's the
uh,
medallion signatures are with a bank,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but they're trained by the Treasury.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the proper medallion signatures, then you are able to set up the TDA account with the Treasury.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
okay, can I just interrupt right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ken, just to chime in on that, I've had really good success with Navy Federal. Also, to build my credit, they also have one of the top rated credit builder cards, credit cards. It's just a secured card, and
Yeah.
they just draw from your savings account. So I did that first, and I actually had an issue with the TDA where I filled out that form to um, the one that you have to get medallion stamped. I don't remember off the top of my head. But
Yeah,
in
there's
any
like
case,
three of them.
I checked hard lock, remove hard lock. So then that prompted them to actually get nasty and lock my account and sent me that nasty email, really
Right.
threatening and whatnot. And I called them and they said, "Oh, we just need you to resend it correctly." And basically, what that means is I shouldn't have put that check hard lock in the first place because there's
Oh,
no
okay.
hard lock on there.
Right.
So I sent it back in. It's been about a couple months, so now I'm going to try to log into TDA. But if you are a member with Navy Federal, they will give you as many medallion stamps as you need.
Yeah,
So
we have one here. We have one in Conyers, Georgia, which isn't far from me. Um, but I haven't had any luck getting accounts set up there, but um, I'll look into that. I used to have accounts when I was in the Navy with them.
yeah, I mean they're a good bank, and they didn't ask me any questions. They were really cool about everything, real nice, man. No hassle. So just throwing that out there. If anybody's having issues getting medallion stamps, definitely hit Navy Federal up. It's easy, and you don't have to be in the military. If your grandfather, your grandmother, your child, and I think your grandchild, if any of that applies to you, you can get into the account, even if they're not alive.
Yeah.
So they won't even ask for documents to prove it. They're just gonna go
Yeah, I
off
used
of
to have USAA accounts too, right?
yeah,
And
yeah, but they don't have any banks.
oh, I know they don't. Well, they have one in Tampa, and they have one in
Texas.
yeah, in Texas, and then they have ATMs everywhere. And I mean, it was a good online banking experience, because they're really good with their veterans, but it just, at the end of the day, it just wasn't, it was very inconvenient, so I quit using them.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
So I had a question since I'm
Yep.
speaking. This whole credit removal process, or I guess attestation, I'll call it. What is the desired, like what would be the end result? Are they just going to remove all the accounts?
Yeah, they remove all the accounts, and then your credit score starts to go up. I posted a picture of mine that, like, within a day of sending it to TransUnion, it went up 110 points within a day.
Now, if they remove the accounts, does that affect my relationship with the banks that I have those
Yeah,
contracts open with?
you don't want to list accounts you want to keep.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at because
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
I'm on good
If there's
rapport with
no
a lot of them.
derogatory credit on them, don't list them
Okay, okay,
because those are giving you positive things, right? So
I
list
just cleaned everything up.
bankruptcies, list judgments, you know, like I have a couple credit cards I used a process to get rid of. One of them was Credit One. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I turned Resurgent into on this. And so yeah, you can, that's what you want to do. You want to it's a balancing act of what information you're going to send.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, good to know.
Anybody else have any more questions?
I have another question on
Oh,
unrelated subject about our estate. Like we do a write-up on our foreign grantor trust, express trust, and revocable living trust. Do we need to do a write-up on estate just to have for our records,
no.
send it via
So
registered mail to
I'm just gonna tell
ourselves?
you, like, we've been kind of dancing through some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave that estate stuff alone. Don't do an estate notice. Don't do any of that crap. Because once you get later on through this and you start like doing where you become, a non-decedent
Mm-hmm.
estate, then that's all you really need to do is just become a living trust. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
to do a lot of stuff,
But
right?
don't we have to write like a Form 966 to dissolve the estate at some point of time or?
When you get to this point where I'm at, they'll dissolve it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. It's in so the 960, you don't really need to dissolve an estate because it's dead,
Mm-hmm.
right? So once the uh once the assets are dealt with, then whatever they want to, really doesn't matter what they want to do with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The 966 is generally if you close a company
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want them to keep coming at that company, the IRS saying, "Oh, why haven't you filed your return?" or blah blah blah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you want to do. The 966 is for like closing a company or if you have like an LLC you're getting rid of or something like that.
Mm-hmm. There is also a related form that I've heard from Yusuf L. It's called disillusionment of the franchise. Is
Yeah.
this important to have on our record
Well,
someplace
not for
or
the estate.
not for the estate? That's kind
No.
of like just for uh,
So you can do a
dissolving ends
dissolution.
legions.
It's called the
Uh-huh.
dissolution of articles.
Yeah.
So if you organize a company in the state of Oregon and you close it down, then you want to do a dissolution. You don't want to just like leave it linger because
Mm-hmm.
that's dishonor.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do a dissolution. So whenever I close a company, I always do a dissolution with the Secretary of State and I
Mm-hmm.
do a 966 with the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, moving stuff from, out of an estate, it's already dead.
No, I think he was using it in the context of applying that form to the straw man, so that you're dissolving franchise that is a straw man. That's usually used in the court cases. He
Right.
says that he always attaches it to the court cases so that they will not view you as ans legis and rather view you as either trust
And
or
I
a
mean, there
living
may be
man.
some value to that, but like when you do, um, if you end up doing like some version of a name change, that does it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
Right.
that's
So
a
it's
part of
already
that,
done.
right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's in your decree. Your decree
Mm-hmm,
will establish the merger of titles and all that stuff. So yeah.
mm-hmm.
So that's in the more advanced stuff we teach that.
Yeah, I heard that from Christian Walters and his trust
Yeah.
courses. It's kind of like the last stage of the process, right?
Well,
Merger
it's
of
part of the last
titles.
stage, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
all kind of one big thing. There's several things that you got to do, but the idea behind it is that you're merging titles to a more superior title.
Mm, to
And
your authenticated birth certificate or what?
well, yeah, it's so that whether it's authenticated or not, it's still color of title. It's still a fee simple chattel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's owned by the state because at the top of it, it's got the state's name.
Mm.
So, in order for you to convey your asset into a living estate, you have to merge titles and you have to claim a superior claim.
So it's like a allodial title to your body, right? Is that what you're
Basically,
talking about?
basically that's what we're talking about, yes.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
But
Well,
they
it's far away for me.
well,
I'm
but they
still at
really
the
put a block on this because I did a patent divine process, which was an update of patent,
uh-huh.
and I sent it to my county and man, they were like they wanted nothing to do with it.
What
So
if you send it to Pima? Would they be able to do it, or it
well,
has
they'll
to be done
register it, but
locally?
that doesn't do anything for the allodial title in your county.
Oh, because they have to sign it and say full faith and credit,
Right.
right?
Right. and so
Gotcha.
they don't do
Gotcha.
that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so this other process does that. It's just on a different, it just does it on a different level. There's a
Mm-hmm.
thousand ways to skin a cat. We're just trying to find the one that works the best.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're still in process, so we're just discovering all these different processes and trying to
Yeah.
get to the same goal.
And I'm here to share, and I appreciate the stuff you shared with me too. This is what we're about.
Yeah. Well, we're a team trying to get out of the slavery.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate
Yep.
that.
Thank you. There's a question from Chantel. Yes, if you've already bought the ebook, you get this ebook that I just updated for free. So just send me a private message on Telegram and I'll send it to you. Um, and and then get you in the templates so that you can see the templates in there. That administrative process is a very big feather in the cap thing because a lot of people don't know how to do that, and so that really lines that out for you and shows you how to do it. Um, if you get to that point, I'll show you how to do judgments and how to do the UCC one liens. So when you get to the end of it, you have to lien them too. So just let me know what I can do to help. Everybody, thank you for coming to the meeting. We really appreciate you coming and being a part of this. And it's all about you guys. You guys are the ones that make this all possible. So thank you for coming, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
Yep. Have a good night.
Good night.